tailored towards that. So, and it's at the highest level too. Like we're accounting for the highest level variables that we can account for. And, he's just one of the greatest.
I would love to sit down and talk to that guy because again, I just imagine the stuff that comes out of his brain or goes through his brain, or just the thoughts that probably go through that just leave immediately, and that, would probably, other people would just sit and study forever. Like, I don't know, I might just be talking him up like he's like the greatest thing on the planet. He might just be like the most normal dude ever.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is like he is a genius at this, but he's also a silly goose. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a funny guy, dude. So, yeah, he has that dynamic of being like a hilarious genius.
That's a good combination to have, really. Not a lot of people have that.
I love learning from it. Yeah, it makes learning fun.
True. Yeah, it's better than just the kind of people that you have where they know they're smart and they're like, I feel dumber talking to you because you're not doing anything like to mentally stimulate me. So you can grab my knowledge, but I'm done here after that.
Yeah. I think Greg is one of the best teachers that I've ever learned from in this sport.
That's awesome.
I mean, the accolades are there. Everything's on paper.
Right.
But it really is an experience.
Now, you fight at flyweight, but what do you walk around at?
I walk around at like 145, 140.
Okay. That's not terrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
How does weight cut for you?
I got it down now. Yeah, I got it down pretty well. So, I mean, weight cutting sucks, dude. I hate it.
Yeah.
I don't know a person that likes it, but, yeah, I mean, for me, it's like, as long as I have it down and I can do it healthily, then that's what I care about.
Can you, I know there's so many people that are not a fan. I mean, like you said, who really likes weight cutting, but can you think of a better way for fighters to be at the weight that they need to be, like pre-fight, and then when they get in the cage, because you basically are starving yourselves until like the night before you have to fight, and then you have sometimes less than 24 hours to then rehydrate your body to where you're at the peak of, all right, I'm ready to fight. Like, do you think that there's a better way out there, or what do you think?
Yeah, if it were up to me, I would fight all these 125ers at 135. That would be amazing for me. But I don't know. I mean, even if you do things like the hydration checks and stuff like that, like there are ways to cheat those too. So it's hard to say that people are just going to ever stop cutting weight,
Sure.
to get an advantage. Yeah, it's hard for me to think of a plan that would make that easier. Yeah, preferably it would just be all my 125 opponents, we just fight at 35 or something like that.
Right. Yeah, and then you get some people that walk around like almost 40 pounds heavier than what they need to, and then, they cut the weight, and then whenever it's time to actually fight, they're pretty close to what they normally walk around at, and it's just massive compared to these other people.
Yeah. And, yeah, I don't know. This is a crazy sport, dude. There's a lot of crazy
Now, there's something that I think a lot of people don't think about, because you train out of one spot and then you most normally don't fight in the same place you're training at. So you're traveling quite a bit and you're having to be out on the road. When it comes to packing, what kind of a packer are you? Are you just do you have your normal set stuff, or do you just kind of wad everything up, throw it in there? Do you bring a separate bag for your workout clothes, because Lord knows those things are going to stink and you don't want to stink your entire bag up? What kind of packer are you?
Let's see. What do I pack? I just pack I'm not really like an overpacker or an underpacker, you know what I mean? Like I bring outfit for each day, a couple extra, you know what I'm saying, socks and underwears. What else do I make sure I bring? Scale, supplements, workout clothes. I don't really put anything in an extra bag. Like, if I can fit everything in one bag, that's preferable. But most of the time I can't.
Well, I meant like whenever you have the, your stinky workout clothes, I didn't know if you brought like a separate plastic bag to kind of throw those in, and then that way you're good for not messing up the rest of your clothes.
Oh, no. I mean, if I'm in the hotel room, if I'm traveling and I got to bring it to like a hotel room, yeah, I'll just have like a plastic bag that I'll put my workout clothes in. I'll see if there's like a laundry facility anywhere or something like that.
Okay,
Yeah,
there you go. So what does a normal training week look like for you?
Man, in camp, it's Monday through Thursday is between 2 and 4 classes a day, depending on how my body is doing. And then I'll work on the weekends usually, and then do a run on the weekend.
What do you do for recovery?
Sleep and ice bath and sauna. I'll usually sauna every night. And
Wow.
then, I prioritize sleep a lot. Like, that is very good for me.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people, a lot of people will say, oh, I love sleeping. It's like, that's great, but I mean, it's also good for your body. So it's not like, you're not going to win an Olympic sport for sleeping. So.
Yeah, and I'm somebody who I grew up with like a decent level of insomnia, so I definitely know the effects of not sleeping. So sleep is one of the best things that an athlete can do for recovery.
Now, how long did you suffer from that?
I started getting it pretty bad when I was like around 15, 16.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you don't have that issue anymore, or did it kind of just wean
I do
itself off?
sometimes. I just have to tailor my schedule to make sure that like I get my body tired in the times that I need to be tired. Because there will be times like even still where I can train like 3 times a day and then I'll still be able to stay up like all night.
Body's just a machine you're a mutant, so it makes sense. There's so much energy
Yeah,
there.
as I said earlier, bro, it's a gift and a curse. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
I completely understand. Yeah, I've been called a freak of nature as well, so it is a gift and a curse.
Yeah, it's not easy, brother.
Yeah. Now, as much as a physical sport as this is, it's also a very mental sport. So what do you try to do for like mental workouts or just kind of focus yourself and kind of find your balance?
Visualization is one of the biggest ones for me. Like deep visualization, like experiential visualization. You know what I mean? Like you can feel things, hear things, smell things, shit like that.
Wow.
That's one of the biggest ones for me. Brainwashing myself with positivity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes that's needed. So, do that. Meditation, trying to clear my mind of all the cobwebs and shit like that, get everything fresh, like a fresh little pool of water. And, what else do I do? I'd say that's pretty much it.
Okay.
I might be forgetting.
So where do you get your positivity from?
Different sources. Whatever is inspiring me is what I would say overall. It could be anything. It could be I could fall asleep to some positive affirmations or something like that, try to brainwash myself in my sleep. I'll I'll watch psychologists and people that I like, you know what I'm saying, throw on some Goggins or something like that. And then just make it to where it's such a influence, like it's constantly influencing me that it begins to like reroute thought patterns.
Oh, okay. I think a lot more people need to do that, where they just kind of, overindulge yourself with positivity, because like, as much as there's people spending time on social media, most social media is very toxic and very negative. And I think that more people need to spend more time focusing on the positive stuff that is out there as opposed to all the negative stuff. It's so easy to just look at all the negative stuff, but finding positivity and genuinely focusing on it is a bit of more of a challenge unless you're actually, used to it, because again, that's just it's a muscle that you have to work on a regular basis. You focus on the good things as opposed to just noticing all the bad things and then never noticing any good thing whatsoever.
Yeah, it has to become a habit, and habits are hard to form and they're hard to break. So, making the habit be something that's positive for your life is very important, I believe.
Yes, very much so. And I love, when people meditate as well, because it's so good. Even for, 2-5 minutes, whatever, just as long as you were able to sit down, block everything else out, and just kind of like focus on your breath. And, you have to, as much as we sleep, our brain is still working, but if you're just allowing it to just kind of have its own little rest period in meditation, it helps out so much.
Yeah, definitely. I completely agree.
Now, are there some fighters that you watch that inspire you?
Yeah. Right off the top of my head, my boy Patchy Mix just won $1 million on Bellator. That was one of the most inspiring things I've ever fucking seen. He did it in a minute by knockout with a knee. That was beautiful. So, stuff like that. Seeing my friends do well, seeing my friends, at any capacity, living the life that they want is, extremely inspiring to me.
I love that. Yeah. That knockout was nuts. I think, yeah. I love what that company's doing, and, Wiz Khalifa's behind it as well, and there's more people joining on, and, I think it's helping fighters because, I mean, I don't really want to get too much into the fighters need to be paid more, but fighters need to be paid more. That's just the fact of
Dude,
nature.
it's a hard sport, and it deserves some compensation.
Sure as shit does. Well, that's what's so funny, that some people will see, okay, cool, I see that they made, let's put him, for example. He just won $1 million. Of that $1 million, he's still got to go pay his coaches, pay the gym, pay taxes, and then not only does he have to pay federal taxes, he's got to pay where he lives taxes, where he fought taxes. Like, he might be getting half that money, which is obviously still a great chunk of change. However, I don't think people are doing the back end math on who all the people he has to pay on top of paying taxes as well.
Yeah, it's definitely, there are a lot of expenses being an independent contractor as like as your full-time gig, you know what I mean? Because taxes aren't that easy on independent contractors. So yeah, when you get a certain amount of money, there's a chunk of that that's not yours at all.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I just see it as like we're professional athletes at an extremely high level, and if there are other high-level athletes in other sports getting paid a certain amount of money, then if ours is just nowhere even remotely close to that, I think that is a discrepancy that should be dealt with. You know what I mean?
I 1,000% agree on that. I think that it's the promoter's fault, first off, but like, I don't know, like, how do you fix it, because then you look at boxing, nobody really fixed it until, I mean, even Mayweather only